Isn't travelling fun? Unless you have a medical condition where a single crumb of gluten can damage your holiday and your intestines, then... But it's okay, because that's what today's video is all about. It's about travelling with celiac disease. I'm going to cover booking holidays, the best holiday destinations for gluten-free food, best accommodation, and some other tips as well, so you don't end up living off air and sadness. Or worse, getting glutened. Full transparency, I have not come back from every holiday fully unscathed, unfortunately. I've had one or two incidents myself, involving some couscous and a park bench. I know the memory's a bit hazy, but lucky for you, I have learned a lot from those experiences, so now I can pass on my knowledge to you on what not to do on your holiday. Are there any holiday destinations that are completely off limits? It's a question I get asked a lot, and to that I answer no. I will actually travel anywhere in the world if it allows me. I will travel anywhere my heart desires. I will make it work. I will not be controlled by my stupid celiac disease, even if it means I live off rice the whole time. I will not be stopped. No, but seriously, I will go anywhere in the world. But I do research how celiac friendly, I really hate that term, celiac friendly. I do research how knowledgeable that place is about celiac disease, so I know how to prepare for the holiday. So for example, Paris, beautiful, but baguettes everywhere. They haunt me in my sleep. Italy, surprisingly good for celiacs, even though their diet mostly consists of pasta and pizza. This is where the couscous incident took place though, so still have to have your wits about you. Spain. What could I say about Spain? Put it this way, I think every celiac should try and move to Spain. It'll just make your life easier. I'm working on it. The USA. I only have experience with parts of California and New York. Hit or miss. I didn't get sick or anything, but I also had a lot of near misses, so too close for comfort. And anywhere with a language barrier, be prepared to mime a lot. Gluten-free. No gluten, wheat, barley, rye, sin gluten. No, that's Spanish. I eat this. No, okay. Celiac. Oh, celiac. Yes. Yeah, okay. Yeah, no gluten-free. What? I'm kidding, don't do that. Just get yourself some translation cards online or just book self-catering accommodation is the easiest option. Once I've picked a destination, the very first thing I do is dive deep into research mode and I Google out of that place. Should we go away next weekend? Yes. Okay, I'll look at flights and hotels. Cool. And I'll look at restaurants.
1 hour later.
Okay, flights and hotel booked, insurance is covered, I booked tickets to the top 5 attractions, and I was able to check in already. I found 3 100% gluten-free restaurants, 2 celiac friendly, 5 must-try bakeries, an ice cream parlour, and a restaurant that claims to do 100% gluten-free Neapolitan style pizzas. We're only going for 4 nights. Yeah, and we're going to try every single one of them, or I'm not going. I look for gluten-free restaurants, I look at their menus, I might email them if I need to. I use travel apps like the Gluten-Free Eats map by Atlee or Find Me Gluten-Free. If I find them going somewhere with lots of options, for example Barcelona, spoilt for choice there. I'm not too worried about it. I might not even do any planning at all because there is something gluten-free on every street corner there. But if I'm going somewhere where there's a language barrier or there doesn't seem to be a lot of gluten-free love, then I will put extra precautions in place. I book self-catering accommodation. I know the last thing you want to do is cook on your holiday, but if it means I get to see the world, then so be it. So I'll book an Airbnb and cook everything myself. I will find a local supermarket next to that Airbnb and I will just make sure that it has a gluten-free section or an organic shop that has a gluten-free section, and I'll just buy staples when I'm there like rice, pasta, those sorts of things. I get a translation card because nothing says please let me live more than shoving a translation card right in front of your waiter's face. Trust me, they love it. This is one that I have in Greek for my holiday in Greece in May. It has the English version on the front, so it says I have celiac disease. This means I can't eat gluten at all, nor can I eat food that has been cross-contaminated with gluten. This was gifted to me from Gluten-Free Together. They have an Etsy shop. And on the back there, it says the exact same thing in Greek. And it explains inside exactly what the ingredients are for gluten. So it's got wheat, barley, malt, rye, oats, spelt, all of that sort of stuff. And some examples of food which contain gluten as well. So pasta and couscous, soy sauce, fries. These are a lifesaver. So I'll tag below. Lastly, I will stick to naturally gluten-free dishes. So things like rice, vegetables, fish, meat, not couscous. Stay away from the couscous. No matter if they tell you it's gluten-free, just don't do it. Don't do it. Hacking, aka bringing your own backup plan. No, but seriously, you are going to need a backup plan. I know you think you don't, but trust me, you will. What should a celiac pack for a trip? Normal people pack clothes. I pack toaster. Bag. I pack toaster bags. They come in different sizes because bread is different sizes. And absolute lifesaver. I take these everywhere. I take them in my handbag. Anywhere I go, I take them with me. Put your gluten-free bread inside, pop it in the toaster, protects your gluten-free bread from all the horrible crumbs. Genius. I do also pack an emergency food stash, like I'm preparing for the apocalypse. What are you doing with all of that? It's my emergency food stash. You know they have food there, right? Yeah, this is just for the plane. It's a 2-hour flight. Yes, but you're not taking delays into account, are you? You are not taking that. What? Why not? Yeah. Snacks, because gluten-free airport food is non-existent. What I usually do is the night before I travel, I'll order takeaway and I'll get 2 portions instead of 1. And the second portion will come with me to the airport the next day. Yeah, seriously. I've taken fried rice from pho through airport security by now, and it is allowed. As long as the liquid is under 100 mils, you're fine. So there's a travel hack for you. Gluten-free bread. Will it get squished? Yeah. Will you still eat it? Yep. I only really do that if I'm going somewhere where I know the gluten-free food is really hard to get. And if you like porridge oats for breakfast, I would take a bag of gluten-free oats with you as well, because apart from the UK, I've struggled to find them in other places. And I always make sure to take some digestive enzymes and some painkillers and stuff. Not to eat gluten, by the way, no. That is not allowed. But just in case something happens. There's not much you can really do in that situation anyway, but it might take the edge off. Where's the best place to stay? I've already touched on this a little, so we'll just zoom past this section. But hotels, nice, but a bit risky. Unless you know there's a lot of gluten-free options for you around the hotel, or the hotel itself does a gluten-free breakfast. So you can always call them up and find out. Airbnbs, my favorite option, because you can cook. You have the option to cook. Even if there's gluten-free options for you, you have the option to cook. Look, we can't have it always, okay? All-inclusive resorts. So how do we eat out without dying? Step 1, find a restaurant. Great place to start. Step 2, check the menu for gluten-free options. If it's not obvious, I'm not afraid to ask. Step 3, call ahead. Confirm they actually have gluten-free options, find out what they are, and ask about cross-contamination protocols. Turning up thinking they do have options and then it turns out they don't is utterly disappointing. You're standing there all hungry and miserable, and then you have to traipse around town looking for another restaurant because you thought you didn't need a backup plan, but you did. I told you you needed a backup plan. Hi, I was just wondering if you had any gluten-free options. Yes, we do. Gluten-free items are marked on the menu. I will take these steak, chips and vegetables, please. No problem, but just so you know, the chips are not gluten-free. But it says here it's gluten-free. Yeah, nor the vegetables. It can be amended to be gluten-free. But that just leaves the steak. Yeah. Would you like anything else? It's just not fun, so do yourself a favour and call ahead. Step 4, check cross-contamination protocols. If they don't know what that means, run. Run for the hills. And step 5, order naturally gluten-free dishes, like rice-based dishes, vegetables, meat, fish. If something's marked gluten-free on the menu and they are confident about cross-contamination, then sure, go for it, have a pizza. But if you're unsure, it's best to be safe. And step 6, even when the food comes to the table, I will always double check that the food is gluten-free. And I'll do it again halfway through the meal. And again near the end of the meal. And probably again at the end. What do you do if you can't find safe gluten-free food? Cook in your Airbnb. This is exactly why I told you to book Airbnb. Supermarkets are your backup plan. Lucky you, I've got some extra bonus survival tips. Join some local gluten-free social groups, but, and this is a big but, don't get drawn into the toxicity of some of these groups, because there's a lot of misinformation on them. So wherever you do read, fact check, double check it for yourself. Don't take people's words for it. Always double check what you're eating, always. Because gluten-free doesn't always mean coeliac-safe. Look out for may contains and cross-contamination. Get yourself some travel insurance. If our celiacs get into trouble on holiday and we need any sort of medical attention, then we're covered by insurance. It's one of those things you think you don't need until you need it. And last but not least, for long-haul flights, make sure to phone the airline so you can book a gluten-free meal on the flight. But take your own food anyway, because airplane food is hit and miss. I've had some nice meals, I've had some really bad meals, I've had no meal at all. Yeah, even though I booked a meal, it just didn't make the flight apparently, so you can never rely on them fully to actually provide you with a meal. One of the worst meals I ever had on a flight was when I came back from Dubai. They gave me a gluten-free bread roll, which was, I think it was stale, with roasted vegetables inside and a pot of jam and cream, which was meant for a scone, but because I couldn't have the scone, they just didn't give me anything to replace it. So I actually asked the air hostess if anything was missing, and she was like, no, that's the gluten-free meal. Yeah, I was there eating jam off a spoon. It was nice. And I never travelled without food ever again. I'm going to leave it at that for this video, but if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. No, but please do. It actually helps, apparently, to leave comments. It helps with engagement or something. I don't know how this works, but anyway, hope this was helpful. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.